In this video, we're going to look at the week ahead for Bitcoin, plus why did Bitcoin dump last week, and what can we look forward to with regards to Cardano and its price. Please follow me on Twitter and join my official Telegram announcements channel. Also, please follow me on bittube.video. You can also follow me on Odyssey. These are both censorship-resistant platforms, and every now and then I am going to post a video which isn't going to be on YouTube.
Take the first step towards online privacy. Get NordVPN.
Hi everybody, this is Crypto Rich, working with you to get rich with crypto, filling our pockets with crypto profits. I have with me a professional technical analyst and trader. We're going to be looking at the Bitcoin price, what happened last week, and looking at the week ahead for Bitcoin, plus also with the Cardano smart contract launch on the 12th of September. And this video is actually being recorded on the 11th, this video is being recorded on the 12th of September, and the smart contract launches on the 13th of September. And the video is going to go out on the 13th of September, something like that, right? It's going out on a Monday, we're recording it on the Sunday. So we're going to be looking at that. And who I have with me is Max. Max is the technical analyst for VeFi, VeFi.io. Hi, Max.
Hello, Rich.
Thank you so much for making yourself available. Do you just want to say a little bit about what you do for a living and your connection with VeFi, and then a little bit about VeFi?
Hello, guys. I'm Max, and I started trading as a hobby, and now it's my income. So I'm doing it on a professional level. Also, doing technical analysis for VeFi, and providing some key data for the guys there, helping out the people and trying to teach them about how to trade, how to analyze the markets, and how to make the right decisions.
Fabulous, Max. Max, thank you so much for doing this with me. And we're looking at doing a weekly video with you, which we'll probably record on a Sunday, and it will go out on a Sunday or on a Monday. And VeFi, for people who want to know, who don't know, is a it's one of the first smart contract DeFi applications on Cardano, and it's a yield aggregator, and it allows for yield farming and DeFi applications on the Cardano blockchain. They had an ICO recently, which went very, very well because they met their target, and it's one of the first applications on ADA.
Yes, that's absolutely right. The launch, basically the sale before the launch, went very well. I think all the guys working on the project are very satisfied with how it went, and all of us are really hyped for what's happening in the next hours, because Cardano smart contracts should launch in a few hours from now, and the next days I think are going to be amazing for all of us.
Yes. And I've done a couple of videos on VeFi, and they are on my playlist. You can find them where I explain what the project is. And by the time this video goes out, the smart contract I think will have been launched, because I'm going to post this on a Monday, and we recorded it on Sunday evening UK time. Okay, and we're going to be looking at Bitcoin and Cardano technical analysis. Let me just get the screen. So what we've got in front of us, and by the way, Max, he doesn't have a webcam on his camera. It's broken. We're going to work something out. So what we've so Max, take it away. Tell us what you want to talk about. We'll start with Bitcoin and then Cardano.
Yes, exactly. We start with Bitcoin. I'm just gonna put it to the 4-hour chart right now. So I think the main topic everyone wants to know about right now is the dump that happened last week. It was pretty much this major sell-off here on Tuesday, and I think a lot of people probably got shocked by this because they were thinking, oh, the market is in a very bullish situation right now, so we just broke the 50K level, which is a very important psychological mark. So people were expecting higher prices. People were probably looking at all-time highs already, because altcoins already made major pumps in the last weeks. We saw ADA reach the $3. We saw, especially in the last days, Solana was an amazing run up. So I think, this sell-off definitely hit a lot of people right in the face. And I think one important thing people want to know is why did the sell-off occur? Because we were such in a bullish state. So for this, I just want to show you a little bit about how you can analyze this sell-off and why you can explain it from a technical standpoint. So first and foremost, on our move to the upside here, we saw that we made consistently higher lows, right? Which is a very bullish indication typically for the market, as we're not going to lower levels after we made a pump to the upside. So what happens in a market where people are using a lot of leverage, that they are going into new positions, and people have set their stop loss usually below those zones, right? So if we make a new low and then we see a pump to the upside, people will usually go in a long position and then set their stop loss and put it below this low, because of course the theory here is that when the next move to the downside comes, we make another higher low. So one issue here is that you have a lot of those lows, and overall with Bitcoin, the prices didn't really pump by a huge amount. Like we saw those altcoins make major moves to the upside, but for Bitcoin, it was all in all, it was around a 20% pump since the mid of August. So for a Bitcoin bull market, that's not an amazing move with so many lows in between. So when we hit the resistance mark, there were a lot of major events at that time. We had it on the day of the El Salvador Bitcoin launch as legal tender, and also on the day the US stock markets came back from a holiday. So for this, I want to go to another chart, which shows a correlation between the US stock markets. And in this case, we took the CME futures.
The green is the CME futures?
Right, yeah. The green is the CME futures for the S&P 500. It's called the ES Mini, pretty much. And you can see the correlation that overall, when the stock markets are in an uptrend, Bitcoin also is in an uptrend. So on this chart, we can see that, here we have the 2017 bull cycle, and we can see that Bitcoin topped shortly before the stock market had a local top here. So the Bitcoin top was in first, and then when we saw our first beginning of the bear market, the stock markets also started to correct a little bit later. So overall, you can see the correlation here that's in play. Then in the middle phase of this bear market here, when Bitcoin prices went sideways and had a little bit of another try to make highs, the stock markets made another run up here and made a new high here. And then this was the turning point where both the stock markets and Bitcoin went into the last sell-off phase of this short-term bear market. For Bitcoin, it was actually a longer market.
Sorry, Max, if you can move the screen to the left a little bit, we can't see those candles where you've... Yeah, that's it. Oh, that's it. Okay.
Here, yeah. Right. So here you can see the main concept here is that when you see a top in play for both markets, they will usually move together to the downside again. And then when the stock market and Bitcoin finds a local bottom, you can see upside for both markets as well. So let's go over to the more recent market. I hope you can see this all.
You can see this, yes,
perfectly here. So this was the Corona dump. We are all probably familiar with that event because it was a pretty important one. Sharp sell-off in all markets. So for this, the correlation is like undeniable. Every market, every risky asset in this period had a very sharp decline and a very impulsive move afterwards for pretty much ever since. Ever since the Corona dump, stock markets went basically to the upside the whole way. And even for Bitcoin, we had a very, very strong bull market until April. In April, we had a lot of events for that pretty much just affected the crypto space. We had the China crackdown. We had some Elon Musk tweets. So we had a lot of reasons why people thought a sell-off is you can justify a sell-off pretty much. And then we had a long period where we went sideways. Let's go a little bit closer here. We had this period where we went between 40K and 30K for a long time. And the stock markets, they just went up. They didn't have a correction since the Corona dump. They just kept going up. And here comes the interesting point. So on Tuesday, we had like in the US, there was a holiday on Monday. Now in the holiday, the stock markets don't trade. So on Tuesday, we had Bitcoin at 52,800 was the high for Bitcoin. We had the El Salvador event, and stock markets reopened. And this week was the first bad week for stock markets in quite a while. So you saw a pretty strong sell-off in the stock markets, even continuing until Friday, which is unusual for the last weeks of strength you saw there.
Mhm.
And this was paired with the strong Bitcoin sell-off. So that's the main concept I think is important to understand right now. And that's why we want to see the stock markets see some support again, and a strong upside move. So we can see this Bitcoin bull market pretty much continue. And that's why, to come back to what I mentioned earlier, because of all those stop losses here in this bullish run up, when we triggered this sell impulse to the downside, we started to hit those stop losses here and then here again. And then everything just, when you hit a lot of stop losses in a very short amount of time, and people went into a lot of long positions at the top here, you start to see a lot of liquidations and a lot of forced selling, because when a stop loss for a long position triggers, the position has to close. So it has to sell no matter at which price, pretty much, because the
Right.
position has to close. And that's why it can happen that such strong dump to the downside just happens in it wasn't like a few minutes, and prices went as low as around 42,800. Then afterwards, the major sell-off stopped, and that's when prices went back and came back to this newly found support zone, but also newly found resistance zone, because we came back into the 47 to 46k area, and we have been trading in this range now for the whole week. So that's basically what happens until now. And the question here is, and that's a question that's like, you can't give a definite answer to that, of course, but the question is, how will the US stock markets open into this new week? How will they will they show strong upside, or will they continue to go down, or just will they go sideways? That's something that's also probably depending on a lot of outside factors right now. We have the Delta variant putting some strain on the economy again. So those are things to have in mind at the current point.
Okay. And can you give some idea from a technical point of view about what's likely to happen with Bitcoin over the next week?
Yes. So for now, I have, let's put it this way. We have the main target here that I am currently expecting for us to reach is at around this low where we went. Like, I can just make it a little bit simpler here, so it's not so crowded on the charts. So it's basically this target zone here. I labeled it with target 1.
Mhm.
It's around the low at 42,000, between 43,000 and 42,000.
If you
And
move the chart up, because we can see the top of the
yes,
one
yes,
here. That's it. Yep, I got it.
perfect. So this is a buying zone I would be looking at for the short term. So maybe as early as tomorrow, maybe in the middle of this week. It depends, as I said, it can depend on the stock markets. If we see a little bit more downside there, I'm very confident that we could reach this target zone here,
Mhm.
and then find a lot of buying pressure there, because basically in the sell-off, there was no time for people to go and buy here. It was all so quick that prices went up very fast again. Then when we came down the next day here into this area, people already were waiting there to buy. So that's definitely a good sign that people are waiting to buy here, and they again bought here a few days ago. So currently we are below our resistance here. That's the Fibonacci golden pocket. It's a key level for doing technical analysis. It's usually a spot where you find resistance or support. And also we have our volume profile here for this range. And there you can see the red line. It's the point of control. It's the point where the most volume is traded. And if you have a golden pocket aligning with the point of control, it's a major area. So this area is right now the important zone. We can see that we have been trading shortly below this area for the whole day, and we haven't managed to go above it, come and retested it, and then go up from there. So what we want to see is either we will see us going lower again, then I want to look at this target zone that I have labeled here. And if we don't go lower, if we can close above this level here, and then even break this high that we made,
47,000.
then I'm also probably looking for more upside. But as long as we are like pretty much in the middle of this whole range here, as long as we are in the middle here, it's a dicey position, let's say it this way.
Yes.
Because if you jump into the market in such a spot, it doesn't matter if you go short or long, you can get pretty much wrecked both ways. So,
right. So this might be a good point for people just to sit and wait and look and see which direction Bitcoin's going to go before they place a position, because then we'll know whether it's going to long and short. And just on that, before we look at Cardano, Max, I just want to mention that I don't trade. I can read some of the charts and I can understand and I can draw sticks and everything, but I don't trade because I don't trust myself to trade. It takes real skill. What I do use is I use my Shrimpy trading bot, and I'm at the time of recording 13% up since August the 3rd in Bitcoin terms, and that's a set and forget. And I use picks from Token Metrics, and I'll have the links in the description below. Anything else on this before we look at Cardano?
I think that's pretty much enough for Bitcoin right now. You can see we got a small rejection here again. So yeah, it's the best thing to do is to be patient. Patience is very important in this market. And I mean, sometimes we maybe just talk about hours or days, but that's already very important to just give yourself a little bit of time.
Yeah, well, actually, before you go on, one is we do, in the 4-hourly chart, we do have higher lows and higher highs, and also what looks like a double bottom.
You mean, yeah, if we go from here, we have a higher low here. Yeah, that's right. And then we have the higher highs here. Yeah, that's correct.
And we've got a double bottom.
Just like I'm gonna be honest here. I'm not a pattern trader, so I'm not. That's not the thing that I'm looking at, to be honest. As a lot of the times, patterns are there's a saying: patterns are patterns as long as they are patterns.
I can't argue with that. Okay.
That's pretty much what I can say about that, if I'm honest here, right?
No problem. Okay. Well, let's have a look at Cardano.
Yes, let's go to
Tether.
Cardano.
Cardano against Tether. Okay, let me see. Well, we got higher lows.
Right. So for Cardano, to make a quick recap, we also got, of course, the same sell-off as we had with Bitcoin. And
right?
Yes, this is also the 4-hour chart.
Okay.
We hit exactly $2. On some exchanges it was exactly 2. It was 2.1 or like 2.01, or on this exchange 1.998. So we hit the perfect mark again. Like in the correction we had in May and June and so on, Cardano was often dumping to exactly $1. So ADA really likes those perfect levels, I would say. Like buying ADA at $1 was a very easy situation, right? Because you didn't even need to do a lot of analysis there. You just knew if it goes very close to $1, it's an easy buy. And for this, what we saw is very strong buying at $2, which is a very bullish indication, and that's definitely something we can see positively. Another thing that's different for ADA, if we compare it with Bitcoin and Ethereum, is that ADA managed, we have also this range here. If you remember the Bitcoin chart, for Bitcoin, this top line was the 47,400-ish level, and ADA also made a higher low here and a higher low here, and then yesterday ADA just decided to break out to the top here. So that's a key difference in the charts that shows that ADA has quite some strength in advance to the smart contract launch. Now, the answer, the next question here, of course, is like, will ADA continue to pump now? Will ADA continue to pump with the launch of the smart contracts, or will ADA dump from here? Mainly, it depends on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the market leader, so if Bitcoin does what I just mentioned in the charts before, if Bitcoin reaches this lower zone, I'm also expecting that ADA will see a little bit more downside. But what's the difference is that for ADA, I'm not. If we see a rejection from here, I'm not expecting that ADA will take out the low here. That's the main difference in those two situations here, right? And of course, if Bitcoin goes to the upside, then I'm also expecting upside here. For ADA, the mark to the upside is 2.8. 2.8 was the level where I had a short position on ADA from this zone here.
Mm-hmm.
And on the dump day, I was like, I'm short on all markets, like on Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. But on dump day, I wanted to increase my ADA short position, and I watched exactly this 2.8 level. And I didn't have the time to short more, because when we broke this level, things went really quick. And ADA was actually doing this before Bitcoin started to dump. That's another. Sometimes ADA is moving ahead. Like I noticed that a lot when I traded both pairs, that ADA sometimes starts a move earlier than Bitcoin. If you look very closely.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the main mark here for me is the 2.8 mark. We saw a very strong rejection here, and we just got very close to it again. So I want to see ADA break above. Then I'm looking for more upside. Same with Bitcoin, just a different level. And support zone, like the main support zone right now is this volume, also the range volume POC. For Bitcoin, it's resistance, and for ADA, this is the spot where I would see some support.
Okay, and it looks like to me that ADA's, and I think from what you're saying as well, ADA's looking more bullish in the week ahead, provided it breaks through 2.80. That's the next level of
yes.
Yes,
I definitely think that with the news and with the smart contract launch, that ADA has some more power behind it. Let's say, like the people are looking at it, of course, because the news is full of ADA right now, and all those projects are launching. So people are looking at it more than at the other markets at the moment.
Yes, fabulous. That is great, and that is I from a fundamental point of view, I can get it, because we've got, people have been waiting a long time for what Cardano offers, especially compared to the problems we've been having with Ethereum. It has a very large community, a lot of support behind it, and we've got applications launching on Cardano, including VeFi, a DeFi application on Cardano, and I'll have the link to that in the description below. And if people want to connect with you, because what is it you do in your Discord group?
Yeah, so in the VeFi Discord group, I'm doing analysis in a special analysis section, where I'm doing very detailed one with where I put a lot of information into the analysis. And there also is a trading chat section where people can answer, where people can ask questions, and where I will try my best to help them and teach them what I can, and where I will also post some frequent charts, like on a daily basis. On when there is an interesting move in some of the markets, I will just make a quick post there as well.
Great. Okay. And of course, that's the VeFi Discord, and it's a group within that. And I have a link to that in the description below. Max, thank you so much. And for anybody who's watching, if you've got any comments or questions, let us know. And, we're going to do this again in a week's time, probably record it on the Sunday next week. And then also, if you have a particular cryptocurrency you'd like us to look at, give us the ticker symbol as a comment. And I really, really appreciate you coming on and doing this with us, Max. And between now and when I see you next, please keep filling your pockets with crypto profits. This is Crypto Rich and Crypto Max signing out. All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.